Alright, so here's part one of the semester exam review. I'm going to go through all the stuff that hopefully y'all were able to look at earlier, and this should be a good portion of the semester exam, so kind of go with that. Maybe I adjust here and there, but we'll see what we can do. Anyways, we start off with the income tax bracket. Ignore that, yes, it says Belinda there, and then Josh's income here. Oopsie, oh well, there's a typo. Obviously, this should have been Belinda right here. Oh well, I'll figure it out, and forgive my handwriting. So anyways, you can see the different bullet points you need to pay attention to. So we gotta make sure you take note of the bullet points. What I can change, the most likely ones to change besides the numbers themselves, is the fact that we've got this right here with the paid vacation time and the sick leave. Those are the ones that traditionally have given y'all the most problems and would probably appear there. So be careful with that. Anyways, let's start off with this. Her salary information says she's making $40,000 per year. We're not worrying about annual. We're just saying how much she's making. So since I gave you a salary, we're not worrying about her annual any process to figure out her annual gross, because her annual gross is $40,000 a year. If we divide that by 12, we will get the monthly gross. So again, got to take the annual, divide by 12 to get the monthly gross, and yes, start rounding off to the nearest penny. So get it right. So when we got that, we can go ahead and say from here that we need to say that this is to find the pre-tax retirement. Well, if we go back to here, pre-tax retirement was going to be $275. So we go here and say for $275, we need to, whoopsie, go back a little bit apparently, $275, subtract 275, and we would get $3,058.33. So all you had to do is subtract. But then to get the taxes paid, this is the big one. You have to go back to the first bullet point and notice here 18%, 6.2, and 1.45. If we go to that, we should be able to find out that if we say add 18.2, 18, 6.2, and 1.45, we would get 25.65, which means we use that to multiply, change it to a decimal, and multiply that to the 3,058. So when we do that, then we would get $784.47. No, 46 cents, sorry. Not 47, but it was 46. Then we should be able to subtract that, and we get the next number, 2273.87. That is the month, the after month, let's try that again. Monthly after tax income. Okay, so from that, then we start calculating the other thing. Now on this one, the vacation time, you get paid for twice. You get paid for 1 week, but you're getting 1 week without pay. So to figure that out, rather than go through a bunch of extra steps, all you need to do here is say, okay, well then, if I'm getting 1 week paid and 1 week not, there's about 4 weeks in a month. So if I take this 2273 and divide it by 4, because there's about 4 weeks in a month, this is how much I get. That's about approximately how much I'm making per month. Or per week, $568.47. Now, what has to happen there is that we have to say, okay, well, maybe this is a little much, because I mean, I could take that all up, but I'm trying to make it easier for y'all. So we divide this up by 12 to say, oh, maybe we'll break this up into month, or to break it up to make sure maybe we planned it out. So we'll divide this by 12, and so thus we only lose $47.37. Now we also took out $225 for health care. So our net income was $2,001.50. So notice how we worked that out. This answer right here is going to go into the next table that you'll see on problem number 6. Alright, so then to figure out number 2, all we got to do is take the balance, multiply by 0.035, and when we do that, notice I'm skipping the APR on that, we get that's our minimum payment. Using that, we can find out how long it would take. Notice what's being put here, how the I is 19.75%, present value is the balance on the credit card, notice the payments are negative, FV is 0, and then we got PY and CY at 12. So then we can easily find N just by doing the TVM solver, again, menu 81, and you get 39 months. Then the next one, we change the N to 18, and then Sorry about that. There seems to be a little bit of a commercial there as I was trying to watch Golden State versus Houston. I'm going to lose all my hair because of these games. Anyways, um, put 18 for the N, and then go ahead and figure out your payment, and your payment should be $554.52. Most of these, again, should be easy, but some of y'all, it's a matter of just making sure you type in the numbers correctly, so be very careful with that. And then number 5, how do I change that? You know what? Let me do this here. I'm going to put this up here. Here. Okay? So I'll put number 4 up here. So what I'm doing here is the N is going to be 4 times 12. The I will be the 8.5. Oy, it's hard to write with my finger, okay? I don't have my little stylus. 8.5. And then I'm doing for the PV, the 17,850 minus the 0.05 times 17,850. I'm not going to be able to fit that in here, so just imagine that's right there. Okay, and then for the PMT, well, that would be the negative 550. Wait, no, that's what we're looking for. Sorry. FV should be 0, PY should be 12, CY should be 12. Type all that in, and you should get negative $417.97. If you can't see that there, I'll put it here, negative $417.97, and we go from there. Okay, so this number, this answer, and this answer are going to go into the next table, as we see here. So notice here, the answer from number 1, the answer from number 5, the answer from number 2. And then all the other numbers that are going to be used to help us write out and what we're going to subtract. So we subtract all these. We're getting there. Give me a second. Okay, and then start subtracting. So all that should be pretty easy as long as you make sure that you're writing out everything carefully. I don't think that should be a problem. Oh, and by the way, I figured out that we were off by 10 seconds second period, so there you go. It's because we had wrote 87 instead of 97. Alright, so now let's look at the next ones. Number 7, all we're doing is for the housing payment, making sure that we put everything in correctly. We've got the N to be 30 times 12, I is 4.5%, PV is 150,000 times the down payment, which is 5% of 150,000. Type everything in, press enter on payments, and we should get the negative $722.03. So again, make sure that you're okay with down payment. Notice it's 5% of the price right there. So that should be good. Alright, the next one, number 8. If we take the payments times the years times the compounds, which should be 12, we should figure out how much money we actually spend on the loan. Then add the down payment. And the down payment was 5% of $150,000, which is $7,500. This will give us the total amount of money we have spent on the loan. So notice here how we're focusing on the $259,000, how much money we spent, payment times years times the compounds. This 12 is not going to probably change. I mean, I could figure out a way, but I'm not going to. Number 9 tells us to now refigure this out if I add $50. So I'm going to add $50 to the 722.03, which will be 772.03. Everything else stays pretty much the same, and that gives you the N, which would be 315, and we'll just write that as months and leave it as 315. So notice I added $50 to this because that's what the question said. Number 10. Let's set it up. So I can do the N, which is 40 times 52. Now notice this is going back to 6B. And so what we got to do here is make sure that you type it in as needed into the thing the way you need to. Again, on these, when you're doing retirement accounts, your PV and your payments will probably be negatives. Well, the payments are always negatives, and FVs will be positive. With the other ones, we were saying FE is 0 and PVs were positive because that was money that was coming in. So kind of make sure you understand, when is it money coming in or is it money that's going out, okay? So you do that, and you should get negative $50,199.06. Again, the payment is 0 because nowhere in that problem, number 10, does it say that the payment is, that there are any payments. Okay, so now we erase, and let's go to number 11. I don't feel like going to a different screen. Number 11 says something about being, this is your setup for number 11. You notice you got 30 years, 12, compounded monthly, 9.5%, and you got negative $500. That's how much money you're putting in today, and then you're going to start making payments of $305. And when you do that, you get $628,623.16, and that went out of the window. Why are we going away? All right, so we have that amount. Notice again, we did PV and payments as negatives. Ooh, that erased even the highlights. Ah, so close. Okay, so now the next one, this is negative 1,500, 14 times 12. Okay, and we have a goal. So here, whoopsie, here we're looking for the interest. So we know she wants to do this for 40 years, compounded monthly. She can put in $1,500 today. She's going to make monthly payments of $275, and she wants to make $1,200,000. So what interest rate does she need to find? 8.63. So at least 8.63 to meet her goals. So again, just pay attention to the question and kind of go from there. Number 13. This one was Rory's college fund. Okay, so he's putting in, whoopsie, not that, ooh, good grief. He's putting in, for 18 years at 8.25%, compounded monthly, he's going to put in $5,000 today and make payments of $4,000. So how much would it be worth? It would be worth $219,349.88. So again, these are things that we've seen before, so these should be fairly easy. But if you do need to go over this, I would make sure to make little notes that help remind you what everything needs to be. And if you do need something, or if you do not quite understand something, you need to ask it ahead of time, preferably before class starts. So that's it for today, and I'll try to add some more before tomorrow. Thank you very much.